Welcome back to another Alliance War video. This is for Loki versus Dsvg. This is season 41, war number 1. We are opening up this season with a good matchup. These guys are always at the top in the Masters bracket, and they banned Herc, Omega Red, and Scorpion today. So let's get in it. And I'm on path 6 in section 1 with Professor X, White Magneto, and Omega Sentinel. I'm dropping a White Magneto pre-fight here on Korg. Professor X only has energy attacks, so he will not be taking any Thorns damage. So the plan basically is to parry heavy, push him to an SP2, bait it, and hit the block to remove the flourish buffs when necessary. I'm running an invulve boost mainly for my Chavez fight next, but also because I can tank an SB3 from Korg if the flourish buffs just get out of hand. So here the prowess buildup, obviously if I don't hit him a certain amount of time. Everything's going pretty smoothly. I removed the flourish buffs there, and I got his rock shield down, so I'm starting to do a little bit of damage, but it's not really my goal. I just want to get to an SB3. I am not running mutant boost here. This is a good example that Professor X does not need them to end lane fights. And he throws his special 2 here, and I'm almost at 100 charges, so I'm going to parry heavy here and throw my SB3, and he's going to go to 2 bars of power, Professor X, and you can see that my rotation is going to be enough to actually end this fight. I'm not running max recoil for this. I did have points in my mastery that I'm going to throw on max recoil for my next fight, because the Chavez is the reason why I'm not running mutant boost, because I don't want to have them on for her, because she can reverse the power back boost with her negative zone. So the thought process basically with her is to parry heavy, bait SB1s, ideally without triggering Dex. If I don't trigger Dex and she throws it, then I'm going to block the special because I don't want to Dex it, and I'm going to eat the prowess damage because she's going to have a prowess build up, as long as it's not too significant. And the SB1, even with a healthy amount of prowess, does not do too much damage to the block. But you can see here that I did trigger Dex there, so I'm like, okay, well, parry heavy, she's going to get MD. I do have a White Magneto pre-fight on this as well, but at this point I'm like, okay. I'm thinking of pushing her to an SB2, but she throws this without Dex. I'm like, perfect. Parry heavy there, and I'm gonna be like, perfect. She throws this. Now she's really playing ball. I love this version of Chavez when she just throws her stuff. So I want to get to 2 bars there, and now I throw my special 3, and the Fury's up. So if this doesn't kill, if she had a negative zone, it would reverse my power, but if she doesn't, if I don't mutant boost, I would be at a special 2, and the special 2 would absolutely kill her. It would rinse her with all my prowess. So now I throw my mutant boost on for my next set of fights. For this fight though, I'm running Omega Sentinel. This is no 25, Power Snack, and Power Sting. And the plan is basically simple. Nullify immune with Omega Sentinel. She has plenty of damage, and I'm just going to throw my special 3. I do still have max recoil on. I'm going to throw my special 3 when I don't have a Power Sting on me. And I'm just going to do basic hits, bait specials from Apocalypse, block them, and then dash away and wait for an opening to block, to hit his block to remove the flourish. I do have some points in collar tech, so if he has 1 or 2 flourish buffs, that will help mitigate some of that power gain. But you see here, everything's going pretty well. About 45 seconds into the fight, and he's at 60%. So things are going pretty smoothly right here. I do want to remove these flourish buffs, hit the block. He throws another special. I'm like, okay. I'm almost at a special 3 though, which is essentially all I really care about. So I do 1 hit there and I throw it, and now I'm gonna come out of this special 3 with him ticking about 2.7k per tick, and that's plasma damage, so that's about 5k a second. So I want him to throw this, and I'm going to, this is where Collar Tech I think really kind of helps, because he has 4 flourish buffs, and I'm still able to throw a full combo to pause everything. At this point, I'm looking at the flourish buffs, and I'm like, you know what, just let him tick away, he's gonna die. And he does. So that's all she wrote for Omega Sentinel and APOC. My next fight is versus this Terrax, which I'm going to power start 1. I just basically want to get to my special 3. He's going to make it easy to intercept, and with my falter, everything's, you know, perfectly fine. Now, I did have a plan for the next fight, Quicksilver, to where if I couldn't get him to throw a special or get an intercept, that I'm going to throw my special 3 with a protection. And I calculated the damage. If you do about 20 to 25% damage of the total health pool, you get 1 bar of power back per mutant boost. With Professor X, you already have 2 bars because of your mechanics, so one more bar means you can spam SB3s. Because I did die last season to a Quicksilver, I was really trying to go at this and be like, okay, worst case scenario, what do I need to do? So this Terrax really wasn't a worry of mine. I just, you know, parry heavy at the start, then dash away to kill some time, parry heavy again, build spacing, and dash away. And everything's going perfectly fine. I want to bait this special 1, and I'm almost at 100 charges. And basically, at this point, I'm going to, you know, try to get the intercept right here to get the Fury up, and I do. However, I'm thinking I'm going to SP3 spam because the Fury's up and everything, and I only do about 60k damage. As I'm watching this, I'm like, well, I know it's enough damage to spam SB3s, but this is kind of making me think, like, what's happening here? Terrax doesn't have any energy resist or anything to mitigate my damage, and I'm starting to think about my Quicksilver fight, and what if my plan is going to go haywire if I don't have the Fury. I mean, if with the Fury, if I'm only doing 60k damage, you know, without, then it's going to be dramatically less. But I did some duels with Quicksilver, got a little bit, you know, got more comfortable. I was already dueling, and I figured that there's something here that I'm missing. And Clown is good friends with J-Will and his Max Sig Terry here, and it turns out he was running Max Inequity, which really gimped my damage significantly. And I didn't know this before this fight. The war was over, and he asked, and you know, he let Clown know, so that was great. But in this fight, so I'm thinking, like, okay, I need him to throw at least 1 special, and I can tank a special 3 with an involve. As long as he's not already in terminal velocity, then I'll be fine. It'll push me to 3 bars. Now, at the beginning of this, I am going to parry and block. I parry actually by time because I want my falter, and there I parry and block, and I put his evade on cooldown. And at this point, I'm going to parry heavy, and 1 more parry heavy, and I'm going to get my vigilance. And now I don't have to worry about his evade. So I'm just trying to get to 100 charges. And I did, when my duels, Quicksilver tends to throw his special 1 when you're relatively close to him after a combo. I found this to be true over and over, so I was like, okay, here I should have done a combo instead of a heavy. Oh, I do a combo actually, he doesn't throw it. And I didn't want him to throw his special 2, but I'm trying to bait this now, and I go for another combo, and you just slightly have to delay. And then he ends up throwing, he tries to get you on the dash back with it. So he doesn't throw it here. I eat a heavy to go to an SB3, and I manually trigger mind control here per my plan, and I'm looking at his health bar and seeing how much damage this is going to do. I just need to do a certain amount, and I'm like, oh, I'm at an SB3. He's special locked. This fight is over. And that's all she wrote. So this was a good learning experience for the plan that I had and everything. And that Terrax did kind of throw a kink in my plan for a bit until I realized what was going on. And then, you know, shout out to J-Will for confirming it. But that was my war. It's a short war, but you know, I finished without dying. But here are some messages from Andrew. He wanted to ghost this season, but then he was trying to give up a ghost fight to Mandy with Nimrod, and I asked him, I was like, you don't want a ghost duty from the island? And he said, yeah, that's cool with me. So what's up with that, Andrew? He just became an officer, he's helping me plan, and he has these ghost fights and he's turning them down. This is the start of the season that we're on. Well, let's see how the season goes. But for now, let's take a look at the final stats. We did end up losing this war, unfortunately, but shout out to B McGee, Andrew, and Karate Mike for the MVPs. So hopefully we do better in war number 2. See you guys in the next one.